Sam C. Oh, how you doing, guys? We got a new story time with Kitties coming. The Temptation of Harringay. Another H.G. Wells short story. Let's set this thing up. Where are we coming from today? Oh, right. I think we was gonna call this Big SuperView or something like that. The SuperView. So go get him there, Frodo. I think we should just call it Frododio Land. He has kind of claimed it as his own. He hasn't realized when the big cats come around, he disappears pretty quick. Okay, so we're coming to you from Big View Frododio Land, and we got a new story. It's the Temptation of Harringay. Ooh, baby, let's get this thing started. Let's just say thank you ahead of time to H.G. Wells for providing us with such entertainment. It is quite impossible to say whether this thing really happened. It depends entirely on the word of R.M. Harringay, who is an artist. Following his version of the affair, the narrative deposes that Harringay went into his studio about 10 o'clock to see what he could make of the head that he had been working at the day before. The head in question was that of an Italian organ grinder, and Harringay thought, but was not quite sure, that the title would be The Vigil. So far he is frank, and his narrative bears the stamp of truth. He had seen the man expectant for pennies, and with a promptness that suggested genius, had him at once. "Neil, look up at that bracket," said Harringay, "as if you expected pennies." "Don't grin," said Harringay. "I don't want to paint your gums. Look as though you were unhappy." Now, after a night's rest, the picture proved decidedly unsatisfactory. "It's good work," said Harringay. "That little bit in the neck, but..." He walked about the studio and looked at the thing from this point and from that. Then he said a wicked word. In the original, the word is given. "Painting," he says. He said, "Just a painting of an organ grinder, a mere portrait. If it was a live organ grinder, I wouldn't mind. But somehow I never make things alive. I wonder if my imagination is wrong." This, too, has a truthful air. His imagination is wrong. That creative touch to take canvas and pigment and make a man, as Adam was made of red ochre. But this thing, if you met it walking about the streets, you would know it was only a studio production. The little boys would tell it to garnome and get framed. Some little touch, well, it won't do as is. See you, Frodo, enforcing Frododio Land there. He went to the blinds and began to pull them down. They were made of blue holland with rollers at the bottom of the window, so that you pull them down to get more light. He gathered his palette, brushes, and maul stick from his table. Then he turned to the picture and put a speck of brown in the corner of the mouth, and shifted his attention thus to the pupil of the eye. Then he decided that the chin was a trifle too impassive for a vigil. Presently, he put down his impedimenta, okay. Never mind impedimenta, demented madman reading the story. All right, let's just take a peeky-boo here. Oh, we still got some action. All right, then. Okay, I'm not even going to try that word again. Nope. Chin was a trifle too bit. Yeah, okay. And lighting a pipe, surveyed the progress of his work. I'm hanged if the thing isn't sneering at me, said Harringay, and he still believes it sneered. The animation of the figure had certainly increased, but scarcely in the direction he wished. There was no There was no snakes in his sneer. There was no mistake about the sneer. Vigil of the unbeliever, said Harringay. Rather subtle and clever that, but the left eyebrow isn't cynical enough. He went and dabbed at the eyebrow and added a little to the lobe of the ear to suggest materialism. Further considering ensued. Vigils off, I'm afraid, said Harringay. Why not Mephistopheles? But that's a bit too common. A friend of the dog. Not so seedy. Okay, let's just take a look. I'm kind of losing my path here, so we'll kind of take a look and see where we are on this here story with the kitties. Oh, it looks like we're finishing up, guys. All right, till next time. Sam C. And maybe just a couple of seconds of big old Rosie. Oh, yeah, that makes me feel good. You do your thing, Rosie. We need you more now than ever. Ha ha.